I just got a, I got some. I don't know, we're ready when you are now. And teams are out in centre field, both captains talking to the referee Jerry Ahern of Armidale, and it won't be long before the first of the 1997 Tooheys Group 19 Grand Finals are underway. As we mentioned earlier, beautiful weather conditions. Someone said a prayer, and it's certainly been answered. And this should bring together the end this afternoon. Of course, Guyra being the host town in this fixture, have no teams entered in the two earlier games, but they certainly will come to the fore when the A grade game comes to hand. Well, the toss has been won and lost. Damien Connor, the Inverell captain, but still the teams just in a huddle behind play. So, Tim, while they're doing that, you might have time for another quick message. We knew they were hesitating for a moment. Sheeta has come on as the replacement, so whilst Woodbury is there, it's James Sheeta who is in the run-on side. There's the whistle from referee Ahern, and the grand final of the under-19s is underway. Inverell defending the southern end of the Guyra Showground. Armidale, of course, the northern end, and it's McElwain who takes the first run-up and is swamped by a couple of the Armidale defenders. He'll play it, plays it back. It comes across field to Connor, to Butcher, and Butcher is held and brought down. He'll get up and play the ball. Comes back to, running from the dummy half position is Craigie, the 5'8". He's held and brought down. Craigie to get up and play it. Plays it back to Butcher's dummy half. He gets his pass on the blind side to Bailey, but Bailey is held, but there's a penalty here. Armidale forwards, inside backs also, inside the 10 metres in the play the ball movement, have been penalised, and it's a penalty going to Inverell. Sheeta will kick for touch on this, the eastern side of the Guyra Showground, and that's where the tap will be taken. It'll be taken just short of the halfway mark. This is the under-18 grand final of the Tooheys Group 19 competition for 97. Quick tap is taken, but there's a bit of a mix-up in the field there between the hooker Higgins and also supporting Inverell player, but this time the player's down on the halfway mark. Get up and play it. Back to Higgins as dummy half. He gets his pass across. It comes to McLennan. McLennan cuts out one pass, gives his pass to Craigie. Craigie on the run downfield gets a pass back inside to Guyra, who's held and brought down. He'll get up and play the ball, but he's be a penalty here coming against the Armidale side. They were held, the Inverell players were held short of the touch line. The referee must have called out for them to play the ball. The Armidale players took them in a touch, have been penalised, and Inverell have found touch about 20 metres out from the Armidale try line. That's where the tap will be taken. 0-all the score, only 2 minutes of play in progress. The ball comes back across field, comes to Sheeta. Sheeta back and forward, but there's another penalty here against the Armidale side inside the 10 metres. In that, when that tap was taken. Quick tap taken by Inverell, comes across to McLennan across to O'Connor. He gets his pass out to Craigie, but he's dropped the ball, and then it's picked up by one of the Armidale players, and Hill will play the ball. Armidale the player, 10 metres out from their try lines. They play the ball, comes back across field to the sides, or the quick stepping fellow Stossel. He will get up and play it. He plays it back. It comes across field to Johnson. Johnson gets his pass on to another supporting Armidale player who's held and brought down. We've got to pick up these names as they're held. They're running towards us, and we've got to pick up their numbers as the ball comes back from the play the ball to Johnson. Johnson gets his pass back inside. It comes to the front row forward for Armidale in Dixon. He's held. He'll get up and play the ball. 15 metres short of the halfway mark, and in Armidale territory comes back across field to the other front row forward who's held and brought down. That's Jamie Bauer. He'll get up and play it. 10 metres short of the halfway mark. Plays it back. It comes to Johnson. Johnson gets his pass back across field to the second row forward in Froome. And Froome is down 5 metres short of the halfway mark. Froome to get up and play it. 0-all the score. So it comes back to Johnson. Johnson a pass across field to the halfback in Webb. Webb kicks downfield. Waiting for the ball is the fullback Cook for Inverell. He's on the run-up field. Is held and brought down 25 metres out from his try line. Jay Cook will get up and play the ball. He plays it back. It comes in field to Spencer, and Spencer is held and brought down. He's come in from the opposite wing. Spencer to get up and play it back to Higgins at dummy half. Gets his pass inside to Sheether. Took that ball one-handed and juggled it, but then is held in the tackle. Sheether will get up and play the ball. 0-all the score. as he gets up to play it. Back to Higgins at dummy half, gets his pass on to Connor. Connor on the run upfield, goes through the forwards, but they're marking him fairly well, and he's upended for his troubles. Plays it. Back it comes across to Bailey. Bailey on the run downfield, gets his beautiful pass out to Guyra. Guyra on the run downfield is held and brought down. Guyra will play it about 25 metres inside Armidale territory, eastern touchline, so it comes back to Spencer. Spencer across to Higgins. Higgins gets his pass to Connor. Connor a long fronting pass out to John O'McLennan. McLennan in the gap. He's on the run downfield, but then has taken an equally good tackle and lost the ball. No, it's the changeover ruled, and Armidale will play the ball 25 metres short of the halfway mark in their own territory on the western touchline. They play the ball as it comes back to the wing three-quarter in Cohen, who's held and brought down. Cohen will play the ball, plays it as it comes back across field. Coming back in field is the second row forward for them in Doran, and he's held and brought down. We'll play it 12 metres inside Armidale territory, 0-all the score. Armidale defending the northern end of the Guyra Showground. Inverell, of course, the southern end. Armidale the advantage of this slight breeze that's coming up at the moment as they play the ball 10 metres short of the halfway mark. He'll get up and play the ball, plays it, back it comes across to Johnson. Johnson gets his pass, back inside it comes to the 5'8" in Cutmore. Cutmore is held right on the halfway mark. Good tackle there from Sheether. He'll get up and play the ball. Cutmore to play it, he plays it back to Johnson. Johnson gets his pass, back inside it comes to the second row forward, who's looking for support there in Froome, and he's down right about a metre inside Inverell territory in centre field. Plays the ball, comes back to crossfield to the centre. Davidson gets his pass back inside. It comes to the wing three-quarter on the far side there, who's held and brought down. It's the wing three-quarter Cohen. The changeover ruled, and it'll be Sheether who will play the ball for Inverell about 20 metres inside his own territory. Plays it, running from the dummy half position is McLennan. McLennan back at crossfield is upended. Good tackle for his troubles there by Michael Allen. He'll play the ball, so it comes back at crossfield to Butcher. Butcher coming back in amongst the forwards is held and brought down. Butcher will play the ball. Still 0-all in this game. Play been in progress for about 6 minutes in the first half. This is the grand final, the under-18s for this year of 97s. It comes back to Connor, and Connor is held 10 metres short of the halfway mark. Plays it on the blind side. It comes to Bailey. Bailey on the run upfield. Comes to inside one tackle and then is held by three of the Armidale defenders and put the ground about a metre inside Armidale territory in centre field. He plays the ball. It comes back across to Higgins. Higgins gets his pass on to Craigie. Craigie steps back inside a tackle. Is held then by the second row forward Froome for Armidale and is brought down. He'll play the ball 15 metres inside Armidale territory on the western touchline. Plays it. It comes across field to McLennan. Terrible pass. Picked up nicely by Bailey. Bailey gets his pass on to Connor. Has support. Gets his pass out. It comes to Guyra. Guyra coming back in field. Wrong foots his defence. Comes back in field. Good run from Nathan Guyra. But the changeover will be ruled and Armidale will play the ball 10 metres out from their try line. Armidale to play the ball, 0-all the score. This is the grand final of the under-18s for 97 in the Tooheys Group 19 competition. Armidale to play the ball. They're the defending premiers. They've won the competition for the last 2 years and they've beaten Inverell in both those encounters. As they play the ball 20 metres out from the Armidale try line, plays it back, it comes across to the hooker Johnson. Johnson gets his pass back across field. It comes to the second row forward in Bauer, and Bauer is held and brought down. Bauer to play it 20 metres short of the halfway mark, back to Johnson. Johnson gets a terrible pass coming back across field to Webb, but then it comes back inside to Davidson, and Davidson has taken in a good tackle there. I think it might have been Sheether. From the play the ball comes, no, it was McElwain. From the play the ball that comes back across field to where McElwain's under that player's tackles. The ball comes back across field to Stossel. He drives the ball deep downfield. Waiting for the ball is Cook. It bounces awkwardly for him. Now he picks it up 20 metres out from his own try line. He's on the run upfield. Holds that ball one-handed and then is put the ground. He'll play the ball. Spencer at dummy half. Takes the pass. Sends his pass across to Craigie. Craigie running across field. Comes back in field. Loses the ball as he's held in the tackle. Regains possession, but the knock-on has been ruled and a scrum will go down 10 metres inside Inverell territory. Craigie throwing the ball away in disgust. He's the only player that forced that ball to go to the ground. Scrum to go down. It'll be an Armidale feed. 10 metres inside Inverell territory. 0-all the score. Scrum going down on the eastern side of the Guyra Showground. Absolutely beautiful weather conditions. That's going to be one against the feed. No, it's not. It comes back across field. But there'll be a penalty going against the Inverell forwards. Scrum broke up and the back row forwards were all offside. Had broken up before that scrum had broken up the formation. It's a penalty going to Armidale. 10 metres inside Inverell territory. They kicked downfield. That was Webb who found touch. About 20 metres inside Inverell territory. That's where the tap will be taken. It'll be taken by Johnson. Johnson gets his pass. Back inside it comes to Bauer. Bauer is held in the tackle. Muddy gets away from Sheether and then is brought down. He'll play the ball. Armidale on the attack now as they play the ball. But there'll be a penalty here going against the Sheether for holding the player down. They've got to have a penalty kick at goal because Johnson is a very good goal kicker. Just to see what they're going to do. No score in this fixture. There'd be fools. Yes, good thinking. It's the only thing you can do when there's no points on the board. Michael Johnson's been called up to have a penalty kick at goal. So whilst he's doing that, I make it about 8 minutes gone the first half, and it's 0-0.
So they started pretty positive, these Armidale fellas.
Yes, they have. You just come in and say things like that, just over the top of me.
Okay.
You just, just...
So I just cut in, is that all right?
No, just say, if I just ask you, bang, and you just mention, right? Armidale started off positively, just different little kind of... Just give me a tap on the arm, or if I give you a tap.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be frightened there. Johnson has this ball placed, first points or first chance of points on the board by either side. 0-0 the score at the moment. Michael Johnson to attempt a penalty kick at goal.
Made a very positive start here, Armidale. The forwards seem to be holding in very well. They're moving the ball wide at every opportunity. Made a couple of long breaks downfield on both flanks.
I noticed that Woodbury's come on too on the far side. There's Johnson's kick.
Oh,
it's a shocker. After me telling him it's a good kick, but it didn't reach across much up above grass top roots. As the ball is picked up in the in-goal area, back it from the play, the ball comes back to Woodbury, and Woodbury immediately in amongst the fro is held, and no, they haven't got him down yet. And as they're trying to get him to the ground, a very big man as the ball's played, comes up back across field to Connor. Connor gets inside one tackle and then is held and brought down. Gee, they had the backs out the wide as the ball comes across to Craigie. Craigie onto Bailey. Bailey on the run downfield, looks for support, back inside it comes. Bailey down over to the halfway mark before he's held and brought down. Bailey to play the ball a couple of metres inside Armidale territory. Cross it comes to Higgins. Higgins gets his pass across to Sheether. Sheether on the run upfield, goes through one tackle, but then is held in an equally good as tackle as he's brought down 15 metres inside Armidale territory in centre field across to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass to Damien Connor. Connor kicks the ball, little grubber kick, racing through for the ball as the Armidale fullback went across there, Farden, and I think he may have taken it into touch. And he has, and it'll be a scrum to go down 10 metres out from the Armidale try line.
A real attacking opportunity here for Inverell. I think they must convert it into points, Ross.
As this ball, a scrum will go down. Yes, that Farden, the fullback for Armidale, took that into touch. It was as it was grubber kick through by Damien Connor. This time the ball's in the scrum. Coming back to Inverell's picked up by McLennan. McLennan gets his pass across to Craigie. Craigie gets his pass on to Butterdine. Butterdine coming back in field. I think that might be the first time that Jeremy Butterdine's touched the ball in this fixture. Buddy will get up and play it, plays it back, it comes across field to Sheether. Sheether decides to take the players on himself. Through one tackle, nearly sent a pass back to Cook as he gets it from the dummy half position. A long pass going across to McLennan. McLennan across to Craigie. They're lined out here as it comes on to Bailey. Bailey cuts back inside a tackle, but a good tackle. And he loses as the ball came back in field to Connor. It's lost by Inverell and it's Armidale in possession. They'll play the ball 10 metres out from their try line. As the ball comes back, it comes across to Froome. Froome gets his pass back across field to the fullback in Farden. And Farden is down 10 metres out from the Armidale try line. He plays the ball as it comes back across field to the centre, Davidson. Davidson gets his pass back in field to the wing three-quarter in Stossel, and Stossel is down 10 metres, 20 metres out from the Armidale try line. He plays the ball as it comes back across field. They're losing a bit of support now. It comes back in field, a bit of play. It comes back to the front row forward for them in Bauer, and Bauer is down. He gets up, plays it back to Johnson. Johnson gets his pass across to Webb. Webb, the halfback, tries to step inside Butterdine's tackle, but then is held, got his pass back, but he tried to pass that, or flick the pass back, and the ball was propelled forward. The referee has blown his whistle for the ball coming forward, and a scrum will go down 10 metres out from the Armidale or inside Armidale territory. Scrum to go down. It'll be McLennan to work this scrum. McLennan gets the ball back. It comes to Craigie. Craigie gets it crossfield, tries to goose step inside one tackle and has taken a solid tackle there by Farden. He'll get up and play the ball. Craigie to play the ball, plays it back to Butterdine. He runs some dummy half position, is held by the jumper, swung to the ground. He'll get up and play it, playing it a bit too much one out. The ball comes back across field to Woodbury. Woodbury goes straight up the centre of the ruck, inside one tackle, then it's held and brought down. Woodbury to play the ball. A very big player, Marcus Woodbury. He plays the ball as it comes back across field to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass on to Bailey. Beautiful pass out to Craigie. Craigie gets back inside a tackle. Coming back inside, gets his pass back to Bailey. And Bailey is very close to the Armidale try line. Bailey to get up and play the ball. Plays it back, it comes across field to Cook. Cook gets his pass across to Woodbury. Woodbury held in the moment, in two minds, is held and brought down fifth tackle. They were lined out, if they go the blind, there's trouble. So it comes back to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass across field to Sheether, went without it, and it's picked up by one of the Armidale players. It's the wing three-quarter, I think it is. Or is it Davidson, the centre three-quarter? He plays the ball as it comes back across field to the wing three-quarter in Stossel, who's held right on the halfway mark, or Maxie about a metre short of the halfway mark. He plays the ball as it comes back across field to Cohen. Cohen gets his pass back inside. It comes to these stepping centre three-quarter in Davidson. Davidson will play the ball, plays it as it comes back to the 5'8" in Cutmore. Cutmore inside one tackler is held by Bailey and ordered to play it. They've taken play right inside or down to the Inverell 20-metre mark as they play the ball. On the blind side, it comes across field to the front row forward in Dixon. Dixon is held in the tackle. They haven't got him to the ground as he'll get up and play the ball. He's very close to the Inverell try line. That's the 5th tackle. They've taken it from their own try line in 5 tackles. The ball comes back to Cutmore. Cutmore decides to go downfield, gets his pass back. It comes across field. It comes back to the centre three-quarter, who's very close to scoring. No, he hasn't. It's a changeover, but believe you me, it's right on the Inverell try line. It was the centre three-quarter, Kagina.
They find a lot of holes in the middle of the ruck there, Armidale, Ross.
Yes, but it's all brought on by bad Inverell handling, particularly Sheether. As the ball comes back across field to Connor, and Connor in amongst the forwards is held and brought down. Too much inclined to take that pass one-handed.
They've got a notable size difference in the forwards, and they seem to be taking it wide, Inverell.
As the ball comes back to Guyra inside one tackle, and then is held and brought down. Nathan Guyra to play it about 12 metres short of the halfway mark in Inverell territory. Comes across field, terrible pass. Coming back inside to Spencer. Spencer gets through one tackle and then is held by the front row forward in Bauer. He'll play the ball 10 metres short of the halfway mark in Inverell territory. Nil all the scores. Comes across to Connor. Connor running across field. Decides to run himself. Gets his pass out. It comes across field to McLennan. McLennan over the halfway mark. Back to Craigie. But the pass has been ruled forward. And a scrum will go down on the western touchline, right on the halfway mark.
Inverell just don't seem to be taking the ball forward. I think they're going too wide. I said a player of Woodbury's size. I thought they'd be taking Armidale on the forwards.
There's a couple of these players, both sides, might be finding this hot weather a little bit not to their likings. It might be a good. I noticed the attendants out there in having plenty of work racing on with the water as the ball comes back from that scrum, comes back to Armidale. It comes back across field to the lock forward there for Armidale. In Postle, he's brought down, he plays the ball, comes back to Cutmore, the 5'8". Cutmore gets inside one tackle of McLennan's and gets away from Sheether, but Sheether's there to hold him and bring him down. He'll play the ball 20 metres out from the Inverell try line. He'll get up and play the ball, plays it. It'll come back to Postle as dummy half, gets his pass across, it comes on to Johnson. Johnson a pass across field to the centre three-quarter. Looks for support back inside, it comes to Davidson. That was Kagina, the other centre, and it's the centre three-quarter, Davidson, who'll play the ball 10 metres out from the Inverell try line. Back inside it comes to the second row forward and Doran is held and brought down. He'll play the ball. Doran to get up and play the ball, but there'll be a penalty here. It's against Craigie for taking the ball off a tackle player, or when there was more than one player in that ruck. Quick tap taken by Doran. They play the balls, comes back across field to Webb. Webb gets his pass back. It comes to the second row forward in Froome, and Froome is down. He's only a couple of metres out from the Inverell try line. He'll get up and play it. Plays it as it comes back across field to Doran, but the ball is lost. It's picked up in the in-goal area by McLennan, I think it may be, but no, the referee has signified that the pass was forward coming across field, and a scrum will go down. Scrum to go down 10 metres out from the Inverell try line. I think there may be another Inverell change in there. It looks like it might be Lucas Glenn has come onto the field for the Inverell side. But the Inverell ball from the scrum as it comes back across field to Bailey. Bailey coming back inside is held and brought down. He'll get up and play the ball. Plays it back. It comes to Higgins. Higgins gets his pass. It is Lucas Glenn as he runs a few more metres before he's brought down. Glenn to get up and play the ball. Plays it back. It comes across to Higgins. Higgins gets his pass on to Sheether. Sheether coming back in field. Fends off one player and then is held and brought down. 10 metres short of the halfway mark. Sheether plays it back. It comes across to Higgins to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass to Bailey. Bailey, beautiful tackle. Brought down 5 metres short of the halfway mark. The tackler being Webb. He plays it back. It comes to McLennan to Woodbury. Woodbury over the halfway mark. Fends off one player, but they stick to him to bring him down. 5 metres inside Armidale territory. Nil all the score as the ball comes back across field to Bailey. Bailey decides to kick downfield. Not a bad little kick either as it runs across field. But going back for the ball is the wing three-quarter Stossel. He picks it up but then is immediately caught and brought down by those followers of that kick. He'll play the ball as it comes back across field to the fullback Farden. Farden gets his pass back inside to the wing three-quarter Cohen, who's down. A couple of very swift sidestepping players amongst the Armidale sides. The ball comes back to one of their supporting players who's brought down Davidson, I think it was. He plays the ball back. It comes across field to Johnson. Johnson gets his pass across field to Stossel. Gets his pass back inside, but the ball is lost. It's picked up by Nathan Guyra from Inverell. He's on the run upfield, but then is held and brought down. He missed a straight swinging arm there as he gets up to play it. I think Armidale player might have copped it. The ball comes across to Glenn. Glenn has held one tackle and then is brought down. Glenn to play the ball 25 metres inside Armidale territory. Back it comes across to Sheether. That's better, tailing it on with both hands, and he's held and brought down. Sheether to play it 20 metres out from the Armidale try line. It's 0 all the scores. The ball comes on the blind side to Woodbury. Woodbury on the run downfield, fends off one player and then is held and brought down. They've certainly got the weight advantage, but Armidale, to their credit, their defence has been first class as it comes back across to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass across to Bailey. Bailey, a long pass out that goes to Nathan Guyan. Guyan gets inside a tackle, but he's smothered tackle there by his opposite number, Davidson, and put the ground. He plays the ball back to Bailey. Bailey running from the dummy half position. It's very close to the Armidale try line. Just waiting to see. No, he has rewarded the try. It's the first points on the board go to the Inverell lock forward, Phil Bailey. So whilst we wait for the attempted conversion, with the scores updating the score for Inverell Aluminium and Glass, where you get security screens and doors here at the Guyra Showground. It's Inverell 4, Armidale 0. Jesus, their bowl won that on me. What happened? Oh, the bloody... Pete, can you just come back a little bit? Just a little bit, mate. Well, it's going to be David Kent to attempt the conversion. It's not a very good kick. Just interesting to see just how that ankle's standing up. But after 20 minutes of play here at Guyra, and through Inverell Aluminium and Glass, where Amphivest or new steel mesh is measured, made and fitted, its score is Inverell 4, Armidale 0. Come on, Reggie. He's only 16. Is it? From the kick-off, the ball has been picked up by Inverell, but I think McAway may have been hurt there. He suffered a knee injury against Maris Brothers Parramatta a few weeks ago, and he might have aggravated that injury. The ball's played, comes back across to Glenn. Glenn in amongst the forwards is held and brought down. Yes, he's going off. Very much favouring that knee. I hope it's not the same knee, but it certainly looks like it. Ball comes across field to Bailey. Bailey has taken good tackle. Brought down. It was the halfback Wegg, but that was a very, very good tackle. It'll be Inverell getting a penalty there. Referee Ahern has ruled that they were held back off the ball. But a beautiful tackle from Webb there, the Armidale halfback on Bailey. They realise Bailey is the playmaker, and they've been watching him likewise. The tap is taken, comes back to Higgins, gets his pass inside to Woodbury. Woodbury comes back inside, one tackle, fends off one player, and then is held and brought down. Marcus Woodbury to play the ball. Has been replaced as the ball, should I say McElwain has been replaced. The ball comes back to Lucas Glenn, and Glenn is down. He'll play the ball 20 metres out from the Armidale try line. Across it comes to Cook, who was up there playing in the 5'8 position. He's knocked the ball on. A knock-on ruled, and the scrum will go down about 25 metres inside Armidale territory. Scrum to go down 25 metres inside Armidale territory. Just looking to see where some of these players... Cook was up in the 5'8 position there. He is the fullback.
Woodbury's off again.
And we've got Sheether back on, so there's certainly whether Woodbury's carrying a bit of flu or something, but he's only made a couple of breaks, but he's been arrested again as Armidale win the ball from the scrum, so it comes back to the fullback in Farden, and Farden is down. He'll play the ball 20 metres short of the halfway mark. Back it comes across field to the centre three-quarter in Davidson, and Davidson is held 10 metres short of the halfway mark. He'll get up and play it. Inverell leading Armidale 4 points to 0 as they play it. On the blind side, it comes back out. It comes to Stossel. Stossel running up to the halfway mark is held about 5 metres short of the halfway mark in Armidale territory. He'll get up and play the ball. He plays it. Back it comes across field to Cohen. Cohen gets his pass across to one of the interchange players. Back it comes to the lock forward, Postle, and Postle is down a couple of metres inside Armidale territory. Got his pass back at the last moment to Sinclair, I think it is. He's an interchange player, and Sinclair is down. He'll get up and play it. Plays it back. It comes across field to Postle. Postle gets his pass down to the interchange player in Allen, and Allen has taken in a good low tackle there by McLennan. He'll get up and play it. 4-0 to Inverell as the ball swung back across field. It comes back across to Sinclair. He puts the ball high in the air. Who's going to go for it? They've got to call for it. It's picked up by Webb, sends a pass across field, and it's picked up by the wing three-quarter who is taken into touch, but it'll be interesting to see. I think it's come off one of the Inverell players. No, the referee has indicated it's come off an Armidale player, and it's an Inverell feed, only about 10 metres out from the Inverell try line. Well, that time the ball was put in the air. Cook, the Inverell fullback, went for the ball. He's only a little player, and he was out jump for that ball. But from the ensuing play, it's an Inverell ball that comes out to Spencer. Spencer running across field is held and brought down. Spencer to get up and play the ball. He's had a fair initiation in the rugby league this year too, as it comes back across field to I think it's Higgins, the hooker, who's held and brought. No, it's we'll pick that one up later as the ball comes back inside to Connor. Connor is held 12 metres short of the halfway mark. It was Guyra. There was a player I couldn't pick up a moment ago. As Connor plays it back, it comes across field to Glenn. Glenn gets his pass, and now he hangs onto the ball as he's caught by three of the Armidale defenders. Had his headgear ripped from his. Gets up, plays it back. It comes across field to Bailey. Bailey over the halfway mark. A beautiful pass out wide. It goes to Kent on the wing downfield. Gets his pass back inside. It goes to Butterdine and shut the gate. Jeremy Butterdine. Wait for that noise to die down. Beautiful pass, cut out pass. Was the instigator of that try from Bailey, though. Namely, went right across field.
It's run a 30-metre pass there. Armidale defensive ward was caught napping.
So the attempted conversion will be taken by Kent. So whilst he's doing that, after 26 minutes of play in the first half, it's Inverell leading Armidale by 8 points to 0. Yeah. Oh, he's played pass from Bailey. Just talking to Damien off air there. Phil Bailey's had a wonderful football year. He's represented New South Wales. He's represented country. He's represented Northern Division, Group 19, Inverell High School. It's combined high school, New South Wales combined high schools. And now he's playing in this, he's probably his last game for the Inverell Hawks as he goes Manly-wise next year. There's Kent's kick, waved away, so there's no change of score here at the Guyra Showground in the grand final of the 1997 Tooheys Group 19 competition. It's Inverell leading Armidale 8 points to 0. Kicks the bastard.
Hey?
Was it catch the bastard?
Good footballer too, that Connor.
Oh yeah, he does know his own ability. Well, from the kick-off, it's down to Connor. Connor plays it. It was picked up by Higgins. Rentham dummy half position. Made good ground. He plays the ball, so it comes back to McLennan. Back to Connor. Connor gets his pass across to Craigie. Craigie looks for support. He can't unload that ball as he's held. They're still 10 metres inside Inverell territory in centre field. Plays it back to Higgins. Higgins gets his pass across to Lucas Glenn. Glenn takes it to the halfway mark before he's brought down. Glenn to get up and play the ball. He plays it back. It comes to Higgins. Gets his pass inside to Connor. Connor straightening up the attack. Takes it to 10 metres inside Armidale territory before he's down. 8-0 to Inverell as they play the ball. So it comes back to Higgins. Higgins across to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass on to comes to Bailey. Bailey, little chip kick through, and it's picked up by the wing three-quarter for Armidale in the wing three-quarter Cohen, and Cohen is brought down from behind. A good tackle there by Craigie. Armidale on the attack as they play the ball, so it comes back to the 5'8", who's held and brought down. The 5'8" there being Cutmore. He'll get up and play the ball. Plays it back to Cohen. Armidale lined out here as it comes back across field to Johnson. Johnson across field to the fullback for Farden, and Farden is held, but there'll be a penalty here. The Inverell outside backs inside the 10 metres in the play the ball movement. And a quick penalty is awarded to. They take the tap. Armidale take it as it comes back across field to Cutmore. The 5'8". He's very close. Push back a couple of metres for his troubles. That is brought down. He's right on the Inverell try line. They'll play the ball. Armidale to play it. It comes back across field to the front row forward in Dixon. And Dixon is right on the Inverell try line. Only very close to half time as the ball's played. It comes back, but one of the Inverell players is offside there, or he got away with it. But they'll play the ball right on the Inverell try line. They play it as it comes back across field. It comes back. It comes to the halfback Webb. Webb gets his pass back inside. It comes to Cohen. But they're lined out here as it comes back across field to the centre three-quarter in Davidson. And Davidson is down right on the Inverell try line. He plays the ball as it comes back to Cutmore. Cutmore gets a pass back. It goes back across field, but it goes into touch. But that was a desperation pass coming across field to the wing three-quarter for Armidale in Stossel. He couldn't hold the ball. It wasn't into his, in fairness to him too, it was a terrible pass that came back pretty quick and went into touch, and a scrum will go down very close to the Inverell try line. I make half-time very, very close as this scrum will go down. 8-0 in favour of Inverell. This ball goes in the scrum. Coming back to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass out. It comes to Butterdine. Butterdine is held by Webb and it couldn't get away from that player. He'll get up and play the ball, repeating Justin McElwain. May have injured or earlier, or when I say earlier, about 10 minutes ago, could have injured reoccurrence of that knee injury. Let's hope it's not as far as he is concerned. As Inverell play the balls, comes back to Higgins. Higgins gets his pass. Back it comes to Connor. Back inside it comes to Sheether. Sheether is held, bringing his ball up, but he's taken about 20 metres short of the halfway mark. Gee, that sun's getting hot. As the ball comes across field to Connor. Connor gets his pass on. It comes to Butcher. Butcher running across field. Can't unload that ball as he takes the tackle there of two of the Armidale defenders in the centre, Davidson, and the wing three-quarter Stossel. Plays the ball, comes back to Spencer. Spencer across to McLennan. Out it goes to Bailey. Bailey running across field. Decides to run himself. Comes back in field. Links up to support. Gets his pass outside. It comes to Higgins. Higgins sends a loose pass. Picked up behind him by Spencer. Spencer coming back in field is held and brought down. Spencer to get up and play the ball. Plays it. Back it comes across field to Bailey. Bailey kicks the ball downfield. Good long kick goes over the head of the wing three-quarter Cohen. It's picked up in the in-goal area by the other wing three-quarter Stossel, and he's on the run upfield. Is held though by the Inverell defence. The half-time siren has gone in the background, and as the players leave the field here at the Guyra Showground, half-time in the under-18 fixture. It's Inverell leading Armidale 8-0. Hey, you're back on. Do two commercials. Disco.
He's a good footballer, that Webb.
Yeah, he is a good footballer.
Real good.
Just at the moment, we'll come back and give the score.
What was that?
Your comments the first half when we come back there. I'll give the scorers, and then just you say some comments on the first half.
You right, wake, bud?
Well, I tell you what, it certainly is there today, and we've got the slip slop slap. We've already had one issue of that, and by about 4 o'clock this afternoon we'll certainly be burnt, because that sun is very, very hot.
Oh yeah, I bought that for morning.
Well, I'll go along with that. Well, half-time score here in the junior grand final sees Inverell leading Armidale by 8-0. There was no score until the 20th minute, when Bailey scored a try for Inverell. It was not converted. 6 minutes later, Jeremy Butterdine was in for a try, not converted also, to make the half-time score 8-0. Armidale earlier had a chance at penalty goal where Johnson, the hooker, his kick was not the best one. It didn't leave the grass very high at all, and that's their only point-scoring chances. The scrums and penalties at half-time. The scrums favour Inverell 5-3, the penalties 4 apiece. So that's their position at half-time in the scrum and penalty department. Scrums 5-3 to Inverell, the penalties 4 apiece. Inverell leading at half-time 8-0. With his thoughts on the first half, Damon Berridge.
Ross, it's been a very, very good first half of football. It's been a real arm wrestle, but I think the difference has been pieces of individual brilliance by Phil Bailey.
He's a very good footballer, as we mentioned right throughout the broadcast. His cut-out pass that led to that try from Butterdine. He cut out 2 or 3 players, and I think it was Guan made the initial break, and then back to Butterdine, and Butterdine scored.
That's not only that, every time he touches the ball, he's drawing in 2 or 3 defenders.
And his play, though, is very good, but there's also some very good performances.
I don't know what the coach Jake Witters has got to say at half-time. They've done everything right. Unfortunately, they just haven't got over the line.
Well, that's the position.
He must have a bit of an injury, that Woodbury.
I don't know. Hey, Roger, is Marcus Bickrook? Sorry? Is Marcus Bickrook? Morning, Dean. And Damien Berry.
Hello, Dave. How are you, mate?
Where do you have from? Where do you have from?
Tassie, same as Disco.
Oh, phew. Have car wheel travel.
Yeah, I've got to go back next month and get it.
No. Hey? I don't know.
I guarantee you that.
If Guyra can hold Armidale for the first 20 minutes. Pete, if you're listening down the line, come over. Pete, if you're listening, come over. Pete, if you're listening, come over.
No.
Pete, if you're listening, come over. Pete, if you're listening, come over. Pete, if you're listening, come over. Pete. Pete, if you're listening, come over. Yeah, well. Pete, if you're listening, come over. Guyra. Pete, if you're listening, come over. You have nothing to touch down there? Pete, come over, will you? Breaker can come over. That was Johnson, wasn't it?
Scored that.
No, the
kicker. Yep.
Who scored the try? That's number 4, wasn't it?
Guyra.
Yeah.
3.
Righto, Pete, come over. Pete, if you're listening, come over. What's wrong? Well, since the restart of play, we've been in progress for about 3 minutes the second half. Armidale have scored a converted try. All started from the kick-off where Inverell forwards were ruled in front of the kicker from the ensuing play. The centre three-quarter, Guyra, has scored, converted by Johnson, and it's 8 points to 6 in favour of Inverell. 8 points to 6, 8-0 at half-time. The ball's played, but the ball is knocked on by Armidale, and a scrum will go down about 20 metres inside Armidale territory. Pete, were you having trouble picking us up there, or is it just a line failure? Okay. Go for it. Right, 8 points to 6 in favour of Inverell as this scrum goes down. McLennan's ball from the scrums. It comes back to Spencer. Spencer in amongst the inside backs is held, pushed back or pulled forward a couple of metres by his jumper. Plays it back, it comes to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass on to Craigie. Craigie cuts back inside one tackle, out of another tackle, and then is held. He'll play the ball 10 metres out from the Armidale try line. Back it comes across to Sheether. Sheether straightens up the attack through one tackle, and then is held and brought down. Sheether to get up and play the ball. McElwain has not come back on the field as the ball comes back inside to Woodbury, and Woodbury straight through for a try. Well, I was just talking to his father at half-time while we were off the air, and I said, is he crook? And he says, I don't know. He says, because he never tells me anything. But anyway, he's on the field, he scored the try, and so Inverell have retaliated with that quick try scored by Armidale in the first couple of minutes of the second half. This time it's scored by Marcus Woodbury. The attempt at conversion to be taken by David Kent. So whilst he's doing that, remember, showers are made to measure and frame mirrors to match at Inverell aluminium glass. And here at Guyra Showground, it's Inverell 12, Armidale 6. You want to say something? Come in, just don't be frightened.
You going, David?
He's all right. Jesus, there's a few Guyra spouncers there, listen to them.
That means it's not funny.
Hey?
I said, does that mean it's not funny? Everyone's on the bandwagon.
Who wasn't mentioned there from Guyra? Okay, right, there's Kent. as Kent moves in for his attempted conversion. It's wide of the mark, so whilst we wait for the kick-off, 5 minutes gone here in the second half, and it's Inverell leading Guyra by 12 points to 6. Butcher. Well, from the kick-off, Inverell forwards, particularly Connor and Butcher, have taken play to the halfway mark. They play the ball, so it comes back across field to Bailey. Picked that ball up one-handed, coming back in field, but he's well marked by two of the Armidale defenders and brought down. Actually, wasn't brought down. He's ordered the play. It plays it back. It comes on the inside. Pass coming back to Connor. Connor's up the centre. The ruck is held, still going before he caught. No, they haven't got him to the ground yet, and he makes the ground to about 20 metres out from the Armidale try line. Good run from Damien Connor as he gets up the play. It plays it back to Higgins as dummy half. On it comes to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass out wide to Bailey. Bailey, a beautiful pass out once again to Gwen. Gwen is nearly cut in half by Webb. I think it was coming across in cover defence. He plays the ball, running from the dummy half position is Butterdine. He's inside the play. Kit's back in field, but the ball is picked up by Farden, the fullback for Armidale, and he's back in the field of play. Farden to play it, plays it back. It comes across field to the fullback there, and his held and brought down. He'll get up and play the ball, playing it back to Davidson. Davidson cuts out one player, comes back inside another one, and before he's held and brought down. They're 20 metres short of the halfway mark in Armidale territory. The ball comes back across field to Johnson. Johnson a long pass out to Stossel. Stossel on the run upfield. This is a lock forward. It's held and brought down. Stossel to play the ball. That's Anthony Possel. He plays it back. I've been calling him Stossel. It should be Possel as it comes back in field where it's held by another one of the Armidale replacement players, held, brought down there by Woodbury. 5 metres short of the halfway mark. He plays the ball as it comes back to the centre three-quarter. Kajina out to the 5-8. Cutmore, he gets inside one tackle. Then is held, sends a loose pass. It goes across field, but the knock-on will be ruled, and a scrum will go down right on the halfway mark.
They're finding some holes at the middle of the ruck, Inverell. Armidale forwards seem to be walking.
They probably find it a bit hard too, this weather conditions, Damien, because it's going to tell on a few of the players later on in all grades. But the changeover rule, it wasn't the scrummers, it was a changeover rule, and it comes back to Butcher, and Butcher, a good tackle, brings him down. I think the Armidale player's been hurt as the ball's played, comes him back inside to Spencer. Spencer running across field is held and brought down. Spencer to get up and play it. He plays it 20 metres inside Armidale territory. Back it comes across field to Craigie. Craigie has Bailey with him. Decides to run himself to that player. And Bailey is held and brought down. The tackler there being Kajina. He'll play the ball. Getting up to play it. Plays it back. It comes across field to Sheether. Sheether gets his pass back inside to Woodbury. Woodbury goes straight through one tackle and then is held and brought down. He's only about 10 metres out from the try line. Gets his pass back at the last moment to Sheether. Sheether running across field. Gets his pass back inside. It comes to Guyra. And Guyra is held and brought down. Guyra will play the ball about 10 metres out from the Armidale try line. It's Inverell leading 12 points to 6. The ball comes across to McLennan. McLennan a long part. No, he decides to run himself and then is held by 3 of the green defenders. Brought down, 5th tackle right in front of the uprights. McLennan will get up and play it. He plays it back to Higgins. Higgins gets his pass back to Craigie. Craigie out to Bailey. Bailey cuts back inside one tackle, gets his pass on. It goes to Kent, and Kent will score. But it's the Bailey once again. He's had a hand in 3 of the tries scored, and here again, whilst Kent has scored the try, it was the pass coming back from Bailey. He cut back inside 2 tackles, got his pass out to Kent. Kent has gone over to score the try, and whilst wardrobe doors made to size at Inverell Aluminium Glass in Evans Street, they remind you that the score here from the Guyra Showground is Inverell leading Armidale 16 points to 6. Thanks very much.
What's he, Manly next year, is he?
Yeah. He's only 17.
Come on, you big forward.
Inverell, keep it up.
I don't want it.
Don't be frightened to come in and talk.
I said, Big Woodbury's made a bit of an impact,
Oh,
hasn't
yeah,
he?
He's a big boy.
Yeah. Making up for lost time. First half.
But you'll get it in a minute. Right, as it headed to the moment, Ray Craigie took it. It's wide of the mark, so Pete, no change of score here at the Guyra Showground. It's Inverell leading Armidale 16 him.
Oh, good one, Dave. Good one.
Don't let him go.
Help him, Brad, help him. That's it.
Come on, Kenny, play it. Come on, Inverell. Good run, James. Good run.
Where the ball's from the kick off, the ball's down to Sheether, and Sheether is tackled just short the halfway mark to be a penalty going. It's the front row forward there for Armidale and Dixon holding Sheether down, a penalty to Inverell, and they'll kick for touch on this, the eastern side of the Guyra Showground. Gee, Damien, that sun's getting warmer.
Very hot, Ross, very hot. I haven't got a hat on either.
Well, from the kick, they have found touch. The ball has touched one of the Armidale players and going into touch, but it'll be an Inverell feed 25 metres out from the Armidale try line.
I think the noticeable difference in this second half has been Inverell forwards, Connor, Woodbury and Bailey.
This scrum will go down. McLennan to worker for Inverell. In goes the ball. It's picked up by McLennan. Gets his pass out. It comes to Kent. Kent around the, or coming in to make the extra man out of one tackle. Comes back across field. Maybe sorry he didn't, as he nearly loses his...
Come on, play the ball.
Plays it back, it comes across field to Sheether. Sheether down the blind side, running with more determination now, and he's holding it with both hands as he plays it back. It comes across field to Craigie. Craigie, a long pass out. It comes to Bailey. Bailey gets his pass on. It goes to Woodbury. Woodbury going for the try line. It's pulled down just a couple of metres out from Inverell try line. Woodbury will play it back to Bailey. Bailey goes to the dummy half position. I think he's over again. Yes, it's Phil Bailey over for another try for the Inverell side. But here again, Damien, as you mentioned just a minute ago, Woodbury, Connor and Bailey are doing the damage, and that time it was Woodbury and Bailey.
Woodbury running a little bit wider off the half back, and the small Armidale backs just can't contain him.
So there we are, Pete. Whilst keep the bugs out with windows, doors and fly screens from Inverell Aluminium and Glass, they remind you that after approximately 12 minutes of the second half, it's Inverell leading Armidale 20 points to 6. Flyers come around, hoses down.
The floodgates might open now.
Pete, if you're listening, what we'll do is disconnect after this and after the game, and then I'll go to the centre and ring you back for the interviews after the game.
Yeah. Pete will tell you how he's got it right on the spot there. Five tries Inverell has scored, haven't kicked a goal yet. So 5 tries to 1. The score at the moment, 20 points to 6 in favour of Inverell. And this is a very, very good Inverell junior side. Take nothing away from Armidale. They've tried, but they're also up against a very good side. There's Kent's kick. It's wide of the mark once again. No change of score here at the Guyra Showground. It's Inverell leading Armidale 20 points to 6. Well, from the kick-off, it's down to Connor, but there'll be time blown out. Pete's looks as if it's going to be Anthony Pottle has been called out for a high shot. The referee has awarded the penalty to Inverell, so whilst they were taking that penalty here at the Guyra Showground, it's Inverell leading Armidale 26. Thanks very much. Look at this.
He's throwing some nice balls too.
Right.
It's Owen Craigie's brother.
Yeah. I say my brother played with all these fellas in the rep sides 2 years ago.
Well, three of the Armidale defenders, and they were penalised, and from the ensuing penalty, once again, Inverell found touch 10 metres out from the Armidale try line. Ball comes back across field to Woodbury. Woodbury goes straight through them, and he's, I think he might be over for another try. Just waiting to see the referee's indication. No, he's held up. He's over the try line, but they came at him like bees around a honey pot.
He's run up from near the halfway line.
He's taken it at his top. There might have been a ploy in this decision of Grant Foster with Marcus Woodbury, because they went onto the field without him at the start of the play. And I notice also now, gee, this is contempt, Damien Connor playing halfback. As he picks the ball up around the scrum base, he goes through one tackle and then is held and brought down. McLennan going into lock. As the ball is played, it comes back from the play. The ball comes back to Higgins, and Higgins is very close to the Armidale try line. Higgins, the hooker to play the ball, plays it back to Sheether. A long pass goes out to Connor, but he sends a loose pass that comes back to Armidale, and they are...
It was a great tackle by Stuart Webber, the big man.
But he is held and brought down. They'll play the ball, waiting to see there'll be a penalty here against Butcher this time for tackling a player without the ball as they take the quick tap. Inverell players are caught unawares as they turn their backs, and it's Armidale taking the ball up to centre three-quarter. Davidson who plays it. He plays it, comes back across field, loose pass. There's a bit of feeling coming into some of these tackles. It all started a couple of minutes ago with that tackle on Bailey, but now it's Armidale in possession. They'll play the ball 20 metres short of the halfway mark. The ball comes across field to Webb. Webb gets his pass back out. It comes to Postle. He's held and brought down. He's about 8 metres short of the halfway mark and put down the tackle. He'll play the ball. Postle to get up and play it. Plays it back. It comes across field to the other front row forward in Dixon. He's down right on the halfway mark. Make that a metre inside Inverell territory. He'll get up and play the ball. Getting up to play it, plays it back, it comes to Johnson. Johnson across the Webb. Webb gets his pass to Cutmore, a long floating pass. It's picked up in the inside area, gets it passed back to Cutmore. Cutmore going around the scrum base is held, around the scrum base, around the ruck, and is held. Fifth tackles, he'll play the ball back to Davidson. Davidson gets his pass back, it comes across to Allen, replacement player. The ball's high in the air. Who's underneath it? But it's taken beautifully by Butterdine, and he's crunched to the ground. Butterdine will get up and play the ball. He gets up, plays it back. It comes inside to Spencer. Spencer on the run down. Oh, there's a few punches, swinging arms. There, one came in there from the front row forward, Bauer, as they come across field to Woodbury, and Woodbury is held. Well, he's taken play to just short of the halfway mark before he's brought down. Make that right on the halfway mark. He'll play the ball. Inverell leading 20 points to 6. The ball comes back across field to Sheether. Sheether coming back in field is held and brought down. He'll play the ball. Sheether get up, play it. Fifth tackle, so it comes back across field to Connor. Connor gets his pass across field to Craigie. Craigie decides to go himself. He's on the run downfield, has support coming everywhere. Gets his pass out to Butterdine, and Butterdine will go through and score.
He's looked dangerous every time he's touched the ball, Ray Craigie, Ross. He's thrown some nice cut-out passes, elusive, as you said.
He's got that pass out to Butterdine. It was the long pass that came to Craigie was cut out a couple of the shall we say, the instigator of a bit of foul play in close to the rucks, and it got outside that. The pass came on to Craigie. Craigie got through the first line of defence, out to Butterdine, and Butterdine has gone over to score. And I noticed Damien Connor, who's the captain of the Inverell side, has taken David Kent off the kicking duties. Damien Connor going to attempt the conversion of that try scored by Butterdine. So whilst for summer shade, get a quote on still bullnose awnings from Inverell Aluminium Glass, and they remind you that the score here with about 10 minutes of play is Inverell leading Armidale 24 points to 6. I didn't hear that, Pete. Yes, that came through loud and clear. Well, Damien Connor with the great kick has kicked the first points as far as goals concerned for Inverell this afternoon. So whilst we wait for the kick-off, 11 minutes.
Well done.
He goes again. He's only 16 too, that kid.
He lost the ball. So they're hunting in a pack now, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes, they've got a little while to get into their stride, and for that I pay full credit to the Armidale defence, because early in the first half their defence rattled the Inverell side, but since about midway through the first half they've got their game a bit better together as the ball comes out to Armidale from that scrum, and it's the 5'8" Cutmore who plays it. He plays it on the blind side, the Webb running down the blind side, gets up another pass to a supporting player who's held. His number is obscured as about 3 of the Inverell defenders hit him. He'll play the ball, so it comes back across field to Webb. Webb has support, gives his pass out to the second row forward in Doran, and Doran is down. I noticed Dixon gone from the field. The moment the ball's played back, it comes across field to Webb. Webb to Cutmore. Cutmore cuts out one player, gets his pass inside to Postle, and Postle is held and brought down. Postle plays it, running from the dummy half position is the second row forward in Froome, and Froome is very close to the Inverell try line, but he's waiting to see what he's a tackle just short of the line. The ball comes back, but it's a loose one. No one wanted it for Inverell, for Armidale. The ball's picked up by Connor. He's sent a one-handed pass back in field looking for support, but there was no one at home, and it's Armidale back in possession as they play the ball. So it comes back inside. It comes to Johnson, and Johnson is caught in a good tackle from Lucas Glenn. He plays the ball back. It comes across field to the second row forward in Bauer, who's held. Can't hold that ball. Plays it back. It comes to another interchange player in Shoemaker. Shoemaker across field. It goes to the centre three-quarter in Kajina, and Kajina is held there by Bailey. He'll get up and play the ball. Kajina to play it about 10 metres out in the Inverell try line on the western touchline. Back it comes across field. It comes across to Stossel. Stossel gets his pass coming back inside. It comes to Johnson, the hooker, and Johnson is held and brought down. Johnson to play the ball. That's the fifth tackle. As he gets up to play it, he's running from the dummy half position. Comes across field to Stossel. Apostle gets his pass across field to the wing three-quarter, and there'll be a try coming up here. It's the wing three-quarter in Anthony Stossel has gone through for Armidale to score the try. He ran around Kent. Kent came in a bit in field, but the cut-out pass went to Stossel. He went straight on the run downfield to score the try. The attempt at conversion will be taken by Johnson, the hooker. So whilst he's doing that, after about 22 minutes of the second half, it's Inverell leading Armidale 26 points to 10.
It's made 26-10.
Yep.
Bit of respectability there for it.
Hey?
It's a bit of respectability for the score now.
Oh, yeah. Right from the sideline, make that a metre in from touch on this, the broadcasting or eastern side, and it's going to be Michael Johnson, the hooker, to attempt the conversion. Had a shocker in the first one, but he is a very good, reliable goal kicker. Has that ball placed, 26 points to 10 in favour of Inverell. They led at half-time 8 points to 0. Armidale came back and scored a converted try in the first minute of the second half. Inverell retaliated and have been in command since that time, but just until that try, which was a good try scored by the wing three-quarter Stossel. The try was not converted by Johnson, so there's no change in score here, Pete. With about 6 minutes of play remaining, it's Inverell 26, Armidale and Sheether and Butcher. There's 5 of them out next year, all the rest are there.
It's not a good side, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Where it's Damien Connor to kick off from the halfway mark. I make it unofficially about 5 minutes remaining in this grand final. The first of this year, the under-18s. Inverell and Armidale have played in the last 2 grand finals of this competition, and Armidale were successful on both those occasions, thanks no doubt to one young fella called Widders, Dean Widders, who more or less singly-handed beat Inverell definitely at Warrialda last year and also at Glennin's the year before. But now it's Inverell in front. They've got to hang on to this ball when they get it and just consolidate that position they hold at the moment. As the ball comes back to Armidale, they're in amongst the forwards as the ball is played. Comes back across field to Webb, who's held and brought down. He'll play the ball. Good solid tackle there from Bailey, brings him down. Plays it 10 metres short of the halfway mark. On the blind side it goes to the front rower, Dixon, who's lost the ball, and it's Inverell in possession, so they'll play the ball.
Good ball here, Ross.
But this has been brewing for a while. It all came back to that tackle on Bailey early, and there's a few of them have got a few of the players are eager to have a go, but they've pulled one fella right out. They've got the troublemaker all right. Dixon was one of the troublemakers earlier. They've got him out of the road, but still.
I've seen some cheap shots going in there for the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh yes, and it all came back since that hard tackle on Bailey. When the Bailey was upended for his troubles. But Pete, they've got time to sort themselves out. The touch judges and the referee have sorted them out. So whilst they're cooling down a little bit, here at the Guyra Showground, it's Inverell leading Guyra by 26 points to 10.
We might have to send a couple to the bin here, I think.
Yes, they got the troublemaker. They got 2 in the sin bin.
Yeah, Connor's off, these are 2.
Better not go in there, mate. There'll be a blue.
He come in running in.
Well, we've got two of Armidale players in the sin bin, and I think Connor may have gone for Inverell. But the penalty has gone to Inverell, so it comes back to Woodbury. And Woodbury goes through one tackle, gets his pass, but it's one-handed. It's knocked on also by Armidale. And Woodbury wasn't going to shirk his duties there. He went straight in amongst the forwards. But the two front row from Armidale are in the sin bin in Dixon and Bauer. Damien Connor, I think, is also in there. And
There's only one from each side, Ross. The other front row is still there for Armidale.
Well, yes, there's one from either side. So the other one must have been an interchange player that went off. So it's Connor and the Armidale player that have gone to the sin bin. So it's Armidale winning the ball from that scrum as they'll play the ball 10 metres short of the halfway mark. They play it running from the dummy half position, the interchange player and Shoemaker. Shoemaker, is down 10 metres short of the halfway mark. Play the football and forget about fighting. If you could fight, you wouldn't be out there. As it comes back across field to Cutmore, a little flick pass coming back inside to Kajina. Kajina gets his pass down to what goes back in field, where it's picked up by Kent, and Kent is held and brought down. He'll play the ball.
Hey, Beckett, get in there.
They'll get up and play the ball just short of the halfway mark. Plays it back. It comes across field to an interchange player there. I think it might be Griebert that's come on for Inverell, and he is held and brought down. Just waiting to see. Yes, it was as it comes back across field to Woodbury. Woodbury coming back in field is held and brought down. Armidale getting a little bit spied in this tackles. The ball comes back across field to Bailey. Bailey on the run down field gets through one tackle and then is held and brought. No, they've got him down now as he's held and brought down. He plays the ball back. It comes to McLennan. McLennan gets his pass out to Kent. Kent on the run down field gets his pass back. It comes to Craigie. Craigie puts the ball high in the air. Coming through on the outside of the Inverell backs, but it's picked up by one of the Armidale players. He just can't pick up who it is. As he's played, he'll play the ball. Comes back to Kajina, running from the dummy half position. He gains a couple of metres before he's held and brought down. He'll play the ball. Kajina to get up and play it. He plays it back. It comes across field to Cutmore, the 5'8". He lost the pass back inside. It was a loose one. It went forward also, and the scrum will go down about 12 metres inside the Armidale territory on the western touchline. 26 points to 10 in favour of Inverell. They led at half-time, 8 points to 0, and I make it just about time, 2 minutes remaining in this fixture. Scrum to go down, so the first grand final goes to the Inverell Hawks with the under-18 side. As the ball's from that scrum comes back across field to another one, interchange player. I think just wait to see who that number is. As the ball comes back, it comes across field to Glenn. Glenn in amongst the forwards is held and brought down. Lucas Glenn to play the ball. As it comes back across field to Woodbury. Woodbury through one tackle, through another one. There's three of them around there to bring him down. He plays the ball back to Higgins. Higgins pirouettes around or pivots around in 1 foot and then is held. He plays it back to McLennan, a dummy half. A long pass. It goes out to Craigie. Craigie, a long pass out to Bailey. Bailey goes through and puts the ball down. Not a hand on him as he goes through and score, and says to the Armidale defender as he walks past, have a look at the scoreboard. The try has been awarded, and as we wait, score check from Inverell Aluminium Glassware, Amper Mesh or new steel mesh is measured, made and fitted. The score here at the Guyra Showground in the dying seconds of this under 18 1997 grand final is Inverell leading Armidale 30 points to 10. Oh, excuse me. What do you got there? One?
She's a hiding. I thought so.
Hey?
I said I thought it'd be a hiding.
Craigie to attempt this conversion from the far touchline. Just talking to Damien off air here, when you go through this Inverell side, I think there's only 4 players that don't back up next year. Of course, those 4 players are pretty handy ones in Bailey, Connor, Woodbury and Butcher and Sheether, so there's 5. All the rest are here next year. Quite a few of them will be playing in the grand final of the under-16s next weekend, too, at Kamilaroi Park, and I refer, of course, there to Craigie. And Lucas Glenn got beaten yesterday, so there it is. The full-time siren also has gone in the background, disco. So we're going to cut off now. Greg is going to go across field to do some interviews, and then we'll come back up here for a summary of this fixture. So it's back to you in the studio.
Number one, boys. Number one.
There, mate. The Inverell Juniors coach Grant Foster, very happy coach. 30 to 10, Grant. The boys really had the guts about there for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, we knew it was always going to be tough. Armidale, we were hoping to play them. We always wanted to get slashed out with them, and they were strong for the first 10. I just told the boys to hang on, and we had the downhill run in the second half, and we just come home winners.
And your best?
Phil Bailey and Damien Connell stood out well. All across the park, the second half was really good. The defence was just fantastic.
Okay, thanks, Grant.
Come on, boys, let's get this crowd. This is our main one, man. Let's get any better than this, boys, eh?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're really tough going to football league. Now, if we can have the runners up, please, the Armidale side.
Well done. That's it, Pete, in centre field for the Inverell Colts.
Boys, turn around, boys, turn around. All right.
I also thank the boys. No one probably expects to be here 4 or 5 weeks ago. We're in a bit of a slump. We come back. That's what Armidale's about, eh? Thanks, Anthony. Okay, could we have the Armidale side pile up, please?
Go a bit slower, guys. You'll be good.
Of the 1997 Under-18s Grand Final to his New England Group 19 Rugby League, Inverell. Could we have the captain up first, please? Captain of the side, Damien Connor. Present the shield to Damien. That's the Joe Barbados shield. James Sheeter, Jeremy Butterdine, Ray Craigie, Reggie Kamal Spencer, Jeremy Andrews, Aaron Irwin, Johnny McLennan, Dad Kent, Marcus Woodbury, Jay Cook, Steve Zabax, Lucas Glenn, Justin McElwain. Good on you, big time. 2 years for this.
Johnny.
In the whole game, and they're a top side. To our fellas, they're just the best, like the best team I've ever played in. They're like great fellas on and off the field, and you couldn't ask for more. And grand finals like this aren't won without the support of a good club, and especially our coach Grant Foster has been brilliant all through the year, like on and off the field, like everyone's good mates with Fozzie. And of course, no one could forget Boom and Alex, who are the managers, and they're just the best. Thanks, fellas.
Righto, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the match in that grand final, the under-18s grand final, Phil Bailey.
On your Bales! Right.
Yeah, say it.
Firstly, just like Damo said, I'd like to thank Armidale. He's Jake. They played a great game today. They stuck it to us all year. Definitely the hardest game we've had in this competition all year. And they deserve to be here. Just a bit of bad luck on the day, but to my boys, thanks very much. That's what we were working for all year, and we got there, and it's going to be good. And I'd like to thank the Inverell crowd who turned up too. They come from everywhere. Thank you.
Really good challenge. We have a referee line on the video. Good ball.
That's it, boys. Good stuff.
The weather was absolutely superb today, and the shield is being handed from Jeremy Butterdine to John A. McLennan. Marcus Woodbury going across to his dad, proud dad Roger, who was standing behind us watching the juniors, and he was very happy. They'll go across and just shaking his hand and say, well done, son. And the Inverell juniors have been the superior side this year, winning by 30 points to 10, and a wonderful effort too by this junior side.
Are you good, dude?
Coming across to us now. Congratulations, man. Well done, mate. Thank you. Now that you've had time to settle down, the emotions subsided a little bit. A wonderful climax to a season. We thought we'd go up that way, but I suppose it's always hard in the grand final. It's a completely different game. Doesn't matter how good you are during the year.
Yeah, definitely. When we come in the game, we knew it was going to be tough, but they really stuck it to us in that first half, and we didn't play the best football we could have played, but it was due to them because they were up in our face all the time, great defence, and then we really got revved at half time, and we come out just with a new lease of life there.
Phil, pressure before the game. The whole team expected you to win. They thought you were over the line.
That was to be expected because we were minor premiers, only lost one game all year, so that was to be expected. But the boys, no one really came into the game with a big head or anything. We just, Fozzie made sure that we didn't do that and just kept us sweet all week. Had a good ball session on Thursday, and then had a good night at the tavern last night with some pasture, and that all got together, and the bonding, and it was really good, yeah.
Well, this is the last time we're going to see you in the Hawks colours, isn't it? You've only been a similar colour from next year, maroon and white, but with the Manly Club.
Yeah, off there.